Hello students, today we will learn your lesson number 8, a treat for mosquitoes. This is a conversation between some group of friends, so let's get started to know what they are all discussing about, okay? Blood test. Rajat is back at school today. He had been absent for many days. How are you now? Asked Aarti. I'm all right, Rajat replied softly. There was a girl whose name was Jaskirat. She said, "You must have played a lot while you were at home." Then Rajat replied, "Who wants to play when you have fever?" On top of it, I had to take a bitter medicine. I even had a blood test. Then Jaskirat said, "A blood test? Why? It must have been very painful." Then Rajat replied, "Actually, when the needle pricked my finger, it felt like an ant bite. They took 2-3 drops of blood and sent it for testing. That's how we came to know that I had malaria." Children, have you ever taken any blood test or injection? How does it feel when the needle pricks you? At first, we feel very scared before we get the injection, right? And slowly, when the doctor come near to us, we get more scared. And then when they put the needle on us, we feel the pain. But actually, it's not very painful. It's only because of our fear that we feel it will be so painful. And the Rajat is saying the same thing here. He said that it feels like an ant biting, just a small ant. Think how must the pain have felt? Nothing, right? When we always feel the pain of ant biting us, right? Does it pain? No. But just because of our mentality, because we are very scared of needle, we feel like it will be very painful, and because of that, we are very scared. But in actual, it's not painful at all. Then another friend named Nancy, she said, "But you get malaria when a mosquito bites you." Rajat, "Yes, but we find out by the blood test." Then Jaskirat said again, "There are a lot of mosquitoes in my house these days, but I did not get malaria." Then Nancy said, "Who says that every mosquito bite causes malaria? Malaria spreads only by the disease-carrying mosquitoes." Then Aarti said, "All mosquitoes look the same to me." Rajat, "There must be some difference." Children, have you ever seen a mosquito biting you? Yes, right. Then, did it cause you malaria? No. All the mosquitoes does not cause malaria. We see a lot of mosquitoes, and in fact we are bitten by mosquito many times, but if those mosquitoes causes malaria, or if all the mosquito causes malaria, then every one of us will be having malaria right now, right? But they are also saying the same thing, that all the mosquitoes does not cause malaria, but only the disease carrying mosquitoes give us malaria. So we need to be careful from those mosquitoes. Okay, next, can you see the picture here in the top? It shows how they are taking the blood, right? I'm sure every one of us has experienced this. How they take our blood test for malaria is they bring a small needle, they will prick it in our finger, and then when the blood comes out, they will bring a little piece of glass, and then they will take our blood, and that's how they test our blood to know whether we have malaria or no. And then at the same time, this is how they also find out what our blood group is. This is the way how they do our testing. I'm sure you know it, but if you don't know, you can see from the picture here and you can know. Coming to our text here. Nancy, did they take the blood from the place where the mosquito had bitten you? Then Rajat replied, "Of course not. How do I know when and where the mosquito bite me?" Then Nancy said, "But how could they find out that you had malaria by your blood test? Do you think they could see anything in the blood?" Okay, next. Anemia. What's that? In the first conversation, they were discussing about malaria, right? Now they are discussing about anemia. So let's read their conversation to know what they are discussing, okay? Arti, I also had to get a blood test done, but they took a syringe full of blood. The blood test showed that I had anemia. Rajat, what is that? Arti said. The doctor said that there is less hemoglobin or iron in the blood. The doctor gave some medicines to give me strength. He also said that I should eat jajari, amla and more green leafy vegetables because these have iron. Then Nancy, how can there be iron in our blood? Jaskirat, there was something about this in a newspaper yesterday. Then Rajat, he was laughing and then he said, "So then you add iron or what?" Then Arti, "Silly, this is not the iron used to make these keys. I don't know exactly what it was. After I ate a lot of vegetables and whatever the doctor had said, my hemoglobin went up." Here, Arti is saying that she got anemia, and then her friends are asking what is anemia. Earlier, Rajat was explaining how he got malaria and then how he was doing his test, right? But here you can see Arti, the way she did her blood test is different from how Rajat did. Rajat, he was pricked by a needle to take his blood, right? But here Arti, the doctor brought a syringe and then that's how they pull out blood from her blood vein and then they did the test and they found out she had anemia. See, here we can find out two different ways how our blood are tested. Okay, now what is anemia? According to their conversation, we get to know that anemia is caused when we have less hemoglobin and iron in our body. So, what is hemoglobin? Students, do you have any idea what is hemoglobin? Hemoglobin, when there is less hemoglobin, means when there is less blood on your body or less iron in your body, you will have anemia. Okay, so even the doctor are advising Arti that she should eat green leafy vegetables so that she will not have anemia. Children, do you eat green leafy vegetables? Do you like? I hope you all like to eat green vegetables, right? If you don't like also, try to eat them, okay? Because they are vitamins and then it will help you from or it will prevent you from getting any kind of diseases or sickness. Okay, and it will keep your hemoglobin also stable and it will help you a lot. Okay, if you don't eat, start eating from today. Okay, now coming to your page number 71. Baby mosquitoes. Jaskirat said, "There is a poster on malaria just outside our class." Rajat, the poster says something about larvae. What are those? Then Nancy replied, "They are baby mosquitoes, but they don't look like mosquitoes at all." Jaskirat told her friends that there is a poster on malaria which is pasted outside the class, and then every one of them went to look, and then this is the picture, this is the notice that was pasted, the picture that you can see here. Okay, and then what was the notice or the poster about? It was spreading awareness about mosquitoes and then how dangerous mosquitoes can be. So we can read together the poster. It is written, "Are you inviting mosquitoes? Be aware, they spread malaria, dengue, and chikungunya. Don't let water collect around your house. Fill up the pits. Keep the water pots cooler and tanks clean. They should be dried every week. Use mosquito nets to protect yourself. Spray kerosene if water has collected at some place. So this was the notice pasted outside their classroom, spreading awareness on how to keep mosquito away from your house or to avoid mosquito biting you and to also be safe from malaria, dengue and chikungunya. Okay? See children, we are learning a lot from their conversation about different kinds of sickness that we can get from mosquitoes. Okay, so we all must be very aware and be careful about this. When you get these diseases or this sickness, it's very difficult for us to cure. So we better take precaution before it affects us or it causes us such kind of problems. Okay, so like those advices written here on the poster, you guys should also be careful and then follow all this advice at home. Okay, it will not only save you but all your family members. Okay, follow all these advices. Okay, let's continue with your discussion. Artie, where did you see them? Nancy, there was an old pot lying behind our house. It was full of water for some days. When I looked there, I saw some tiny thread like gray things swimming. I was surprised when Mommy told me that this had come out of the eggs which mosquitoes lay in the water. They are called larvae. I also heard something about this on the radio. Then Rajat said, "What did you do?" Nancy, Papa immediately threw away the water. He cleaned and dried the pot and kept it upside down so that no water could collect. Jaskirat, Shazia auntie told me that even flies spread diseases, especially stomach problems. Then Rajat said, "But flies don't bite. Then how do they spread diseases?" Children, have you ever seen those larvae at home? That is the baby mosquitoes that they are discussing. For me, I have seen many times. In the dirty water or when you store water for a long period of time in your tanky or in the bucket, the mosquitoes come and give birth and then these larvae are formed in the water. And that's how more mosquitoes are produced. So we need to try our best to prevent this. Okay, we need to stop these mosquitoes from growing more and more in numbers. So like what her daddy did, we also should do. When we see such dirty water, we need to clean it fast. We need to dry the water or try to clean our surrounding and compound so that no such larvae will form and then it will not give birth to more mosquitoes in our environment. Okay, let's try to keep our environment clean and free from these larvae and mosquitoes, which will save us from malaria, dengue and many other diseases. So this was all that those friends were discussing, and then I'm sure that you have learned a lot of things from the discussion. For me, I have learned a lot about awareness, how to keep our environment clean and to save ourselves from various diseases. So I hope you also learn a lot like me. And if you have any doubt regarding what we have discussed today, you can ask me anytime. Okay, I'm ready to explain it to you again. If there are any words or sentence you didn't understand or there are some words which are new to you, you can ask me. Okay, then this will be all for today. Thank you.